My name is Waldo Tibbetts. We came to own a bed and breakfast actually a little bit by chance and mistake and just good luck.
It wasn't our idea to become a B&B or host weddings. We got started just dipping our toe in the water, decided to put our guest room on Airbnb because we were empty nesters and we thought, what are we going to do with all this room? Our girls were living in Richmond, and so we thought, let's just try it, see what happens. And so a couple found us, they saw a picture of our view, and they asked us if they could get married here. So it was really their idea.
Well, what originally sparked the interest was on one night I had come home and Shirley and I were having a glass of wine and we were talking about it, and I said, there's this new company coming out, sounds like it's going to be kind of interesting, called Airbnb. I said, why don't we think about putting one of the guest rooms on, because our daughters at that point were down in college in Richmond, and we figured that they weren't coming home, so it seemed like a good opportunity, a way to just sort of put our toe in the water and see if there was any interest. And fortunately, it turned out that there was a lot of interest. So
one of the most memorable experiences for me was when we hosted an all-deaf wedding. Growing up in third grade, my best friend was deaf, and I learned sign language, and I learned all about how deaf people communicate and live amongst the rest of us who can hear, which is interesting. And we hosted an all-deaf wedding. They were professors from Gallaudet, and all of their guests were deaf, and all of their vendors were deaf. And it was really, really interesting and fun, and they were a lovely group. And it was funny. I mean, even the DJ was deaf, and I told him to keep the music turned down because they were trying to make a toast, and he said, why? They're deaf. So anyway, that is definitely one of the more memorable weddings that we've had here, and their video is actually on our website.
We joined the Guild because it's certainly the right thing to do, and it's an opportunity for us to associate with like-minded people and folks who are going through many of the same experiences that we are. Again, we'd never run a bed and breakfast prior to this. I'd had a little bit of that in my younger life when my parents actually ran a summer sportsman's fishing lodge up in Maine on a much larger scale than this. And so I knew a little bit about sort of the hospitality business and some of the challenges. So this was different because this is our personal residence, for one, but it's also obviously become a business that we live in. And knowing other couples and knowing other B&B owners and being able to talk with them and in some cases commiserate with them some of the challenges we face has been helpful. And the B&B Guild just does good work on our behalf, and so that alone is a key reason for being an active participant.